It's 5:30, so we'll call to order this meeting for Monday, March 4th. Jordan, would you start us off with a roll call, please?
Please respond by stating present. Councilmember Ronayne.
Present.
Foberg.
Present.
Liebelt.
Present.
Reif.
Present.
Johnson.
Present.
Reinbold.
Present.
Langer.
Present.
Norvstrup.
Present.
Mayor Schoeneman.
Present. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. First order of business tonight, as with all nights, is to approve this week's agenda as printed. I'm not aware of any changes to the agenda that's been distributed, so I would take a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilwoman Liebelt and a second from Councilwoman Foberg. Anyone on the council have anything? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next, we've got the approval of our minutes from our previous meeting, which took place on February 26th.
I'll move to approve. Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Johnson, a second from Councilman Reinbold. Does anyone have anything that needs to be amended on these minutes? All right, then, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. Motion carries. I didn't see anyone signed up for open forum, but I did want to welcome our Boy Scout group as well as our Leadership Aberdeen class. Way more people here than is typical for these meetings, so I'm glad that you're all able to join us here tonight. Moving right along, we've got a consent calendar tonight with 4 items of routine city business, including a couple of alcohol license hearing dates, a contractor license, a lottery notice, and setting the dates for a handful of bid items in the city's near future. We'll take a motion to approve these consent calendar items.
Move to approve. Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilman Reif. Anything from the council as relates to any of our consent calendar? All right, well, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. First item of new business to be discussed here tonight is the appeal of a denial of an application for a license for taxi cab or motor bus driver. Jordan, would you kick off that discussion for us here this evening?
Thank you, Mayor. The applicant submitted a taxicab license application to my office on January 29th. My department routed this application for review by the police department for a background check. This is standard for all taxicab license applications. The recommendation from the police department was to deny the license application. I affirmed their recommendation and denied the application. Appealing to the denial of her January 29th application, the applicant has submitted a second application on February 22nd. Per the police department recommendation of the initial application, I have denied the second application, and I am treating the application as an appeal to the City Council pursuant to City Code.
Jordan, go ahead, Ron.
And I will supplement that comment, Mr. Mayor. As the council is aware, these applications these appeals are made with the understanding that the applicant will be here to present his or her side of the case. Is the applicant here at this time? So in the absence of the applicant being here, Mr. Mayor, then...
What's the new email confirmation number that?
Is she at your house, Rob?
Sorry.
We try to sprinkle in a little bit of humor every now and again.
Keep us alert.
So, council, with the applicant being gone, I would request that a motion be made to uphold the denial of the license by our finance officer, and that this matter can be handled summarily then.
So just so that I'm clear about the process, it sounds like this wasn't a traditional process of an appeal. It was like they maybe were being a little sneaky, or maybe they thought that changing the name on the application might amend the review itself.
We don't think that there was anything like that. What we do know is that on the second, it's possible just that her name had changed in the intervening couple weeks, but she was notified on the time of the second application that this was the time and place for her appeal.
Okay.
And she is not arrived, she is not here, so we would ask that you just summarily uphold the denial.
And Chief, I know that you were kind of the impetus for the denial in the first place. It sounds like there might have been some background issues that warranted some concern.
Yeah, that's correct. So it's our recommendation in the interest of public safety and the applicant's best interest as well that we cannot recommend this person for the taxi license. I was prepared to go into a little bit more depth tonight, but I would agree with Ron, since the individual's not here, if we can forego that, that
Sure.
would be my...
I think that's fair for everybody. Well, I appreciate it. Anyone from the council have any further discussion on this matter? All right, then we can do a voice vote on this one.
Correct.
All right, so I take a motion to deny this application.
I will move to deny the issuance of the license.
Could you take a second on that? I think Councilman Ronayne was
Okay.
making an indication. Okay, so I've got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilman Johnson. Any further discussion? Okay, so the motion and the second is to deny this application. I would take a voice vote on that. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have the possible approval of a resolution titled 220203R, which designates a certifying officer to execute documents necessary to secure the SWARMS grant funding for our WINS project. Robin, what can you tell us about this resolution?
Well, what we're looking to do is to get the process started with DNR or DANR to be able to access the $5 million in grant funding. Actually, this is a reaffirmation of what we did a year ago, but we were not in a position to really spend the money. We didn't have an agreement in place or any kind of memorandum of understanding. So, and we've got a change in the position. So my name will now be the one that you will affirm, and we'll look to have this funding go toward engineering and some of the other things to move this project forward. So it's the same thing we did a year ago.
Thank you, Robin. Someone care to make a motion on this approval?
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion from Councilman Folberg and a second from Councilman Norvstrup. And just to give a little bit of a background to the folks in the room that might not know much about this project, SWARMS is state funding that's given through the Department of Natural Resources annually for projects like this. And this WINS project is an agreement and a joint project between Webwater, which is to the west of us, and BDM Water, which is to the east of us, as well as our municipality, to deliver water from the Missouri River through the Webb system further east, including Aberdeen, and then hopefully eventually on to BDM, which services territories all the way out to Roberts County. So very excited about that and glad to see this SWARMS funding come to fruition on this project, and hopefully that'll be something we get to achieve on an annual basis. So we've got our motion, we've got our second. Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Folberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Reif,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Norvstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we've got a possible approval to purchase 2 front lift buses from Foreman's Sales and Service in the amount of $146,157 and $146,729 respectively. And here to tell us a little bit about that is our Transportation Director, Rich Krokel. Rich, welcome to the meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. So what we have here is a possible approval for 2 front lift buses. Both of those buses are 12 and 2 non-CDL. We're going with the non-CDL because it's just easier to get people into those buses right away, as far as drivers. These are 80/20, so the state will pay 146,157 is 80%, and the 20% remaining would be 29,231.40. That's for bus number 1. Bus number 2 would be a total of 146,729, with 80% would be 117,383.20 with the discretionary grant, and the 20% remainder would be 29,345.80, and that would be covered by city budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilman Johnson. And, you know, I know that a lot of the folks in this room probably have some questions as it relates to this, just about our busing service in general. Rich, just on a very, very high level, we're adding 2 buses to our fleet. Can you kind of just outline how many buses we've got on our fleet currently and what we've added in the last couple of years?
Well, right now we've got 16 buses. We're required to have a minimum of 15% as ready reserve buses. But with the last 4 years, the problems throughout the supply chain and whatnot, some of those 15% ready reserve buses have become somewhat unusable at times. We've been putting a lot of money into repairs on those. But going forward now, we are going to be, we've got 2 buses that are coming in April, and then we've got 4 more buses, or 3 more buses in a van that will be coming in later this year. So that's going to put 6 new buses at Rideline. There's 6 new modes of transportation, and that would possibly be an over budget item. And I visited with Jordan for a while on that, but you know, we had years where we acquired 0 buses, so we just need to replace our fleet and keep the rolling stock rolling.
Thank you, Rich. Any other questions or comments from the council as it relates to the purchase of these 2 buses? Go ahead, Councilman Johnson.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I was wondering, are all 6 vehicles then covered by the same grant?
Oh, well, they'll have different grant numbers.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
But in terms of the 80/20,
80/20, there's a couple that are going to be 85/15. So that'll be less of a sting to the city.
Sure, and so these buses are about $150,000 each.
Roughly, yes.
What does that buy us? Can you clarify the seating capacity, how big these buses are?
Okay, so the 2 that we just talked about were the 12 and 2. So what that means is 12, including the drivers, 12 passenger, and then the 2 is for handicapped or ADA accessibility.
Okay.
And the rest of the buses going forward, with the exception of the non-ADA minivan, the rest of the buses going forward will be ADA compliant as well.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
go ahead, Councilwoman.
I just wanted to compliment you on, I got the opportunity to attend the Mayor's Advisory Committee for People with Disabilities the other week, and I think Rideline's done nice work working with that group to try and find some solutions to real problems that people were facing in the community. So thank you for being a participant and a collaborator in that committee, and for the mayor's leadership there, because I think there's some good movement happening, and
Thank you.
new buses that have lifts that work is a big move in the right
Right.
direction.
Thank you.
And Ryan is in the back as well, so maybe congratulations extended to you as well as the guy that has to do most of the work. All right, so we've got our motion, we've got our second. Jordan?
Councilmember Norvstrup,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reif,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Fauberg,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we've got the possible approval of airport improvement projects pay requests. The first is our AIP project 346000143-2021, which is the taxiway improvement, or taxiway geometry improvements, a supplemental agreement payment to Sharp Enterprises for $76,628.36, as well as the AIP project Same number, also for our taxiway improvements, payment to Sharp Enterprises for an estimate number 10 for $167,596.48, as well as to authorize the city manager to sign both of those documents. Rich?
Yes, sir. So the reason these both have the AIP 43 number is because the project was awarded in two phases. This was that $5 million, 100% grant, which cost the city nothing. So they were treated as one project, but some of the billing and monetary elements of that were treated in two different phases. So on the first one, 7D1, it's a partial pay estimate to reduce retainage, but we're still withholding liquidated damages against that contractor. So that would be $76,628.36 that we're asking for city manager to approve of, to sign off on. You approve, he signs. Agenda item 7D2, also for AIP 43. That is a partial pay estimate in the amount of $167,596.48. And again, this is reducing retainage, but we're still withholding liquidated damages against that contractor.
I'll move to approve both pay estimates.
Second.
I've got a motion from Councilman Johnson, second from Councilman Norvstrup, and you kind of heard the explanation from our transportation director on that, and I would like to make mention, just because there's so many new people in the room, that the airport actually has a board of its own, and those guys go through an approval process to kind of pre-screen payments like this. It's the same as our Parks and Rec department, so when big payments like this happen, we aren't making decisions on the fly. Those people have vetted these things out. Obviously, they stand up to contractual muster and that kind of a thing. But this is kind of the last stop in the road to make the payments necessary to keep these projects moving forward. So we've got a motion, we've got a second. Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Ronayne.
Aye.
Fauberg.
Aye.
Liebelt.
Aye.
Reif.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Reinbold.
Aye.
Langer.
Aye.
Norvstrup.
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Mr. Krokel. Next, we've got a review and approval of our claims and payroll. The bills list is this week, of course, March 4th. The payroll will cover the pay periods of February 25th through March 9th, as well as the associated costs of employing people in the state of South Dakota. Can I get a motion to pay the bills?
Move to pay the bills.
Second.
I've got a motion, Councilwoman Liebelt, second Councilman Reinbold. Anything from the council before we take this final roll call vote of the evening? Jordan?
Councilmember Norvstrup.
Aye.
Langer.
Aye.
Reinbold.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Reif.
Aye.
Liebelt.
Aye.
Fauberg.
Aye.
Ronayne.
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we've got our city manager's report here with City Manager Robin Bob-Zine. Robin, what have you got for us this evening?
Well, welcome to the Leadership Aberdeen group here. I had an opportunity to spend an hour with them. They all stayed awake, so they're... And the mayor gets an opportunity to visit with them after this meeting. Legislative session is winding down. There's only a few things that the legislature or that Municipal League is now monitoring as far as city issues goes. And I think that part of it has gone fairly well this year. There are several board meetings this week, and the library is, I believe, the lobby is closed right now. I think they're doing things through just bringing books out to the parking lot right now. They're working on some things related to the roof system to try to mitigate some issues that they've had there over the last several years. And lastly, I will be gone for about a week here, toward the end of the week. But you're certainly welcome to contact me. I will be taking my my laptop with me, so it's not a full vacation, it's just a partial vacation. So be happy to answer anything that you have while I'm gone. So with that, I guess that's it.
One thing I'd like to make mention before we close this meeting out, obviously most of us have probably heard about the terrible news from Banner Engineering here in Aberdeen. They have 311 positions here in Aberdeen. Many long-time established residents work out there, and they will be closing their plant by the end of the year and phasing people out in the meantime from now until the end of the year. And, you know, that's a heck of a blow to the community. That's a lot of employees for any given business, but I will say that anecdotally from a lot of different businesses that I've been able to talk to in the meantime, there's kind of a pent-up demand for employees, and I think our first course of action will be to try to connect the employees that are losing their jobs with potential opportunities around the community. So if you're watching this video or you're in this room and you have a need to hire employees, now would be a good time to begin to post those positions. Also let our office know, because we are beginning to assemble a list of hiring employees and our hiring companies, and we will try to connect the two and make sure that these folks that have lost their jobs in Aberdeen or will be losing their jobs will have as many opportunities as possible to stick around in our wonderful community and hopefully help fill in some of that unemployment void that we've had lingering around here for quite some time. So never news that we'd like to hear, but hopefully if there is a silver lining, hopefully we can get as many of them as possible to stay with just different positions around Aberdeen. So if there's nothing else from the council, I would take a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Motion to second your adjournment.
You're not quick enough, Shar. All right, so
know.
we've got Councilman Johnson with a motion. We've got Councilwoman Liebelt with a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you all.